But the central theme of all yogas, the central theme is meditation and concentration, because that brings that yogic perspective or yogic attitude in whatever we do, and whether we are working, whether we are contemplating, whether we have uh, renounced the actions and become a sannyasi. In any type of any method or any path we follow, dhyana or meditation is a central theme of all these. Therefore, in the end of this chapter, he comes to that become a yogi, he says. Become a yogi by this way, because meditation is a powerful tool to control our mind. And as you know, without mind control, nothing can be achieved. Absolutely nothing. It is everything is a mind game. Everything, any path you take, it goes through the mind. Mind is the most powerful tool, which is part of the prakriti, which has been created by Lord Krishna himself. That becomes, and that can be controlled very, very well through meditation. And that you can lead, you can, like you means our buddhi, when it is tuned with meditation, it can control the reins of these sense organs, just as we described this body to be a chariot, and all the sense organs, that is distractions of listening, smelling, seeing, feeling, tasting, all these are pulling us in different directions. If you have the reins in this mind, which in turn is under the influence of the charioteer, that is buddhi, then it can be well controlled and it can go to a proper direction or destination wherever we intend to take it to. So, therefore, meditation becomes an integral part of all the paths, whatever. So, yoga of meditation is that is the relevance of meditation. So, in the last and throughout, he starts saying become a yogi. He defines yogi in the sense one who is following, who is into this meditation or concentration, which is taking him towards inner, concentrate within. That is what he has been emphasizing in all these shlokas from 1 to 28. So, in the last shloka, he said, Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmasha sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham ashnute. So, in that, as per this shloka, he says a yogi who is free from all the impurities, vigata kalmashaha, the person who has become a yogi, that means having got rid of a yogi whose mind is always engaged, always contemplating wherever he is, but his mind is within. He appears to be involved in external activities, but actually he is contemplating within. Such a person, having got rid of all the impurities, who is engaged in the yoga, attains Brahma Samsparsham. That means he attains Brahma and Atyantam, immense happiness. All right. So this Bhagavad Gita is taking us to the highest state, how to achieve the highest state. And as we have mentioned, any small activity, whichever we are doing, whatever we do every day, any small activity, to accomplish those activities, if we apply these principles, whatever Krishna is saying, you will find an immense pleasure in becoming successful, in the sense, um, you may or may not achieve the target, but you will feel a great sense of satisfaction in doing those activities. What I'm trying to say is, let us apply the same principles. The goal is to reach there, liberation. However, when we are doing small tasks every day, which are applicable to our roles and responsibilities, if we apply these principles and carry out these activities with a similar with a similar in the similar intensity, intensity of our efforts and all that, then we will get a great sense of satisfaction that these are small steps in the path of liberation. They are small steps. All our tasks completed to our satisfaction may not be what we decided to do, but it will give us immense satisfaction. That is what we want actually. So let us apply those principles. Now, 29th shloka, he says, Sarvabhutasthamatmanam सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा सर्वत्र समदर्शनः यो मां पश्यति सर्वत्र सर्वं च मयि पश्यति तस्याहं न प्रणश्यामि स च मे न प्रणश्यति 29 and 38. So now this yogi, throughout he is calling yogi because meaning a yogi who is engaged in meditation throughout. Throughout means he is not going to sit that way. His mind is always contemplating within. So with the mind always engaged in yoga, such a person sees everything around with the sameness or equality, samadarshanaha, because he believes Atman is in all beings and all beings are in the Atman. What is the meaning? When a person reaches this state, no calmness, he doesn't differentiate uh, one person from the other. He sees everyone. All the while we were talking about dualities, if you remember. He sees happiness, sorrow, success, failure, hot, heat, and cold with the same equanimity. Now he is referring to different people, different jivas. What are these jivas? Plants, animals, human beings. Leave alone plants, animals. Among human beings, we tend to look at people in as different people based on the category or class or caste or their positions or their relation to us. So some are ours, some are distant relatives, some are close relative. This is a usual common layman's perspective about people. But a person who is engaged in yoga, because he is elevated, he starts observing the same Atman in all individuals. Because Krishna himself has told that I am there as Jivatman in all the Jivas, not only human beings. I am there in animals, I am there in plants. So, this being the case, a yogi now will never differentiate people based on any of those characteristics: beautiful, ugly, higher class, upper class, lower class, upper caste, lower caste, nothing, or from different geographical background. No, he doesn't, because he believes 100% in what Krishna has told, that every being, every living being has got the Jivatman. So the difference is only because of combinations of Prakriti. Combinations of Prakriti is the way they think, the thought process, the way they have evolved, the stage of their evolution. So, other than that, there is no difference. So, he considers everybody as one. Number one, he sees Atman, and he sees all beings, or Atman in all beings, and also all beings in the Atman. Atman means I'm referring to the Paramatman. So, if you see the entire universe with all its diversity, everything is him. That is Parabrahman, isn't it? It has been created by his yoga maya, but he percolates. He doesn't get perturbed, but he's there. That means I, you, all of us, and these non-living things, everything, they are all suspended in this huge Brahmand, cosmic universe. We are all suspended there. We are all part of that. It is only our ignorance that we are not able to perceive this. That is what saying. But yogi can feel that. So knowledge is different. A yogi actually feels it. Next chapter we will have that. Jnana Vijnana Yoga. So he feels it. He knows that all Atman, we are all connected. Because even in next chapter, I think, he says, Sarve Manigana Iva. Krishna himself says, all the beings are like pearls in a string, and I am the thread which is commonly going through all these pearls. That means you understand what unites all the beings, that is him. We are all united because we are all part of that. We are all Jivatman, and we are all part of the universe. Bit of that universe is within me, within you, within him, within her, within that plant, everything. And also we are part of that. So imagine, as again I come back to that example, there is water, there are different pots, each pot has the same water. So there is a pot with the water inside, there's another pot with the water inside, and there's water everywhere. So what does it mean? Jivatman in all the beings, and all the beings are in the Atman. Jivatman, which is part of Atman. Let's take Atman in all beings. So they are all separated like this, and all of them are floating in the same water. We are all in the same water. So we are all connected. So this Samadarshanaha, Sarvatra Samadarshanaha, that is the key word. Viewing everybody with the same. So with this knowledge, though we don't experience, if we have this knowledge, then we will not have hierarchy. This used to be very much prevalent in some time back, many decades. Now it is going actually. So even now, actually, we do differentiate that immediately it comes to us, educated, non-educated. Especially in India, in the Western world, it is not there. And there is no dignity of labor. Anybody can work. Here we have that much, so much of dignity of labor. We have maids, we have artisans, we have electricians, we have carpenters and all. We definitely have a clear difference between those who are educated and those who are less educated. They are skilled but not so qualified. So there is definitely that should go. There shouldn't be any such difference, and all should be treated equally because they are all uh, having the same Atman. If we look at it from this angle, they are all manifestation, just as you and I. We should not, or our even people who are in a much higher position than us, we should not look up to them because of their position also. There may be some respect, but all are one. If you see, Dhritarashtra's first opening statement is exactly opposite to this. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakaha pandavaschaiva kima kurvata Sanjaya. He asked Sanjaya, my own people and Pandavas, what did they do? That means there was so clear-cut differentiation between his children and Pandavas. Though they were cousins, they were his brother's children. Such a close relationship. Yet he differentiated. So this is another extreme, and which should not be done. And was he educated? If sorry, not educated. If at all he was exposed to this yoga and he was practicing it, then probably the whole Mahabharata Kurukshetra would not have taken place because it would have had the inclusivity. That's what we are speaking of today. Now, Samadarshana means inclusivity and one health. Again, I repeat, one health and inclusivity, two terms used by United Nations Organization, is nothing but Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. So that is how we should, a yogi, when he ascends in the yogic path, it comes automatically for him. For us, we should start practicing, we should start thinking in this as per Bhagavad Gita, so that we comply to what has been given in Bhagavad Gita. Next he says, Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati. It's continuation. Tasyaham na pranashyami, sacha me na pranashyati. So similar thing, he continues. One who sees me in all beings and all beings in me, he continues, I will never separate from such a person. And I will, such a person will never separate himself from me. That means our mind will never go away from divine consciousness, and he himself, the divinity, his grace will continue to support us. His grace will continue to be showered on us. His grace is not uniform. Free will is uniform. His grace is selective. Those who choose this higher path, the grace shall come. For others, it may not be there. He will let them do. He will let us do what we want. But in case we have chosen this path, we bend towards Him, then His grace flows. It definitely flows. That is the law of karma, actually. Law of karma has said in different shlokas, he has told that. This is the clear-cut shloka. He says, such a person who sees everybody equally. That means if we want to if we really love God, then we should love everyone. It's not that we do some rituals early in the morning, do prayers, and then come outside and then see everything is different. All are different. Actually, there are some theories in Indian spiritual context also, which say that there is a difference, but we are speaking of Advaita now. Advaita never allows this theory of differentiation. It always believes in unifying everything. It is unity. All the beings are one. All the beings have Jivatman. And we are all part of that Mahatattva. We are part of that Parabrahma. So this, when we understand, no, then we don't differentiate among each other. And definitely, and that, he says, these are the people whom I am going to hold on forever. Means the grace is going to come more and more. It will pick up. Our efforts will get proper support from Him if we see everybody equally. So how do we see everybody equally, particularly people who have hurt us, who have injured us, who have spoken bad about us? We will never be able to forgive them. Will not be able to look up to them with the same, you know, approach as we see our close friends. We will not be able to do that, but we should learn. We should learn to forgive. We should learn to forget. We should learn. We may maintain a distance from people who are harmful to us. That's a different story. But breeding hatred is not required. We should not breed any kind of hatred, animosity, negativity, because that's going to damage our path, spiritual path. So we look at them, we smile at them, we move away, but not breed. God bless them, and then we say we go away. So, and then of course we will have some more, attach. I should say liking for some great people, and if it is there some sadhu or people of higher this one, that is okay. That is still okay, but at least we must not have hatred. We must always bring this point whenever a kind of animosity comes in our mind with in relation to our past events or present events. We should never be we should not entertain such thoughts. Now, सर्वभूतस्थितं यो मां भजत्येकत्वमास्थितः सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि स योगी मयि वर्तते. One who worships me, who exists in all beings. Okay, one who worships. Look at the statement. Sarvabhuta sthitam yomam. One who worships me, who exists, he is telling, and Krishna also says, one who worships me, understanding that I am there in all the beings. I am only there in all the beings. If we are worshipping the God in our puja room, the same God is there in the dog, in the animal, in my neighbor. So one who worships me, who exists in all beings, worships me, of course, with the mind established in unity, though engaged in all activities or any activity, he or she always lives in me. He lives in me. Just like in the previous shloka, he says, Brahma Samsparsham. So let us understand this as one. What is the meaning of who lives in me? It is a nothing but state of peace, state of calmness, state of bliss, which is beyond happiness. When we are happy, when we go to some shopping mall, or when we watch a movie, when we go to parties, when we dance in discotheques and all, that is a pleasure. Happiness may be short lived. Bliss is beyond that. It gives more peace of mind, and it's a different state of mind. This we must understand. Satchidananda state is that. Of course, we are as a permanent realization is maximum bliss. I am talking about even when we experience such short spells of peace, that also can be considered. He lives in me means whenever we are at peace, whenever we are at calm, unbiased, unperturbed, think that we are living in Krishna consciousness only, divine consciousness. So he says, whatever activity you do, he or she will be always with me. Who are those people? ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ನೋಡು. ಇದು ಡೋರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಲಿ. ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಹೋಗು. He who worships me, who exists in all beings, worships me, established in unity, and though he is working, that means what he has, see, people like you and I, if we are every day from morning till evening, we are working. So even though we are working, if we have this knowledge, and if we start, reinforcing that day by day, and improve our spiritual practices, then even if you are working, no, it doesn't matter. We are always with him. He's always holding our hands. His presence is felt, and therefore, what he has not mentioned is the output will obviously be extraordinary, isn't it? When the divinity starts, when we are with the divine, obviously, whatever work we do, that will have a different characteristic. A person with divine consciousness and a person without divine consciousness, who is not yet into that, who is ignorant, if you compare even a small effort, a small spiritual practice, will bring a great improvement in his work, the kind of work he does, type of work he chooses, what attitude he will do. So that is the meaning of he or she always lives with me. Obviously, when we live with him, then there is no way that divinity cannot manifest, isn't it? So this, of course, is the highest state he is saying. But let us take even for at our level, one who worships me, who exists in all beings. So we must have that thought. All are one. We are all one. There is some difference of opinion because of so many things which we have discussed. But basically, the content, the clay, it is the same clay, different ornaments. So we are all one, we are all united. With this thought, when we worship God, it is more acceptable to Him. It's more acceptable. It's not only when you pray to me in the, as I said, pray or do japa or whatever with the, what is that, rosaries and all that, how you behave outside. That makes a big difference to me. Just by being here and being different outside, you will not you will not be approved by me. That is not done. It may take you to some stage, but unless it is translated into your behavior of treating everybody equally, then you are not going to be closer to me. That is what he's saying. Then one more. See, today's shlokas are very, very practical actually in our day-to-day dealings with people and situations. आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति योऽर्जुन सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखं स योगी परमो मतः. So now he says this is another very, very important thing. This is Bhagavad Gita is so beautiful because he teaches practical Vedanta actually, practically what you should do. Uh, so here he says in this shloka, he who sees others as he sees himself, atmopamyena. That means if I feel if I feel bad in some situation, I should understand others also feel the same. Will come more with more explanation. So he who sees others as he sees himself, um, who sees equally everywhere, sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna, whether in happiness or sorrow, sukham va yadi va dukham, sa yogi paramo matah. In my opinion, he says that yogi is supreme. Look at the humility of Krishna. He says paramo matah. So that is the ultimate, sorry, that yogi is supreme. That yogi is supreme. So we must see, if we shout at somebody, so what? I have shouted, I have shown my anger because that person did a mistake. But how did we treat him? Was it just for with the intention of correction, or did we show our power? Did we show any hierarchy there? Did I shout because I am on this chair and I can shout? I have the power to shout. Was it my ego? If you understand, most of the times it will be the same. It will be ego. It will not be with the proper, we lose our control and we shout at people or we express our anger. Supposing similar thing happens to you, if somebody shouts, will you be able to take it? How well you will receive that? How normal you will be after you receive such, you know, abusive words or something. This we should understand when we deal with people while using words, while communicating. We should be very, very sensitive. Atmaupamyena. So think, if you are in that position, how would you feel when you're talking to others? If you were spoken by somebody else in similar way, how would you feel? So that feeling is important. Krishna is taking very closely to our heart, our attitude and our this brings concepts of empathy and compassion. So these are the terms used to understand. It is not sympathy. Sympathy is, kind of consoling people and making them feel good. Empathy is wearing their shoes. I'm understanding more and more of late because when we have, we never go deeper and we tell orally that we put ourselves in their shoes. Actually, putting is something different. Imagine uh, there is a in Indian typical present generation scenario I'm talking about. The boy is working, both are working, boy and girl. They work, they get totally tired. They are working throughout the day from morning till evening. Both are in similar professions. They come so tired. Each one expects the other to be, compassionate or to be calm, so that either husband puts it on the wife, he pours out all his frustrations or tiredness, or the wife wants the husband to be patient and listen. How is it going to help? And then the spark starts and the fighting starts. This is happening in some situations, and it is very natural because both are tired. Now they come home, the baby is crying. Who should pick up? Who should console the baby? Both are equally tired. So, if a person, whoever is practicing yoga, he will be more empathetic. So he knows he is tired, but he or she will consider it need not be always the male or the female who should put the first foot forward. Now everything is equal. And we should consider them as equal, unbiased, no gender bias here. So whoever is more matured in yoga, generally some people are basically matured because they have done some homework, as I said. So whoever, without even reading Bhagavad Gita, some people are having those skills. So that person will get up and then he says, okay, let me take the initiative, consoles the baby, goes around here and there, though he is hungry, though he or she is hungry, they will take. So these qualities, in situations where it can become very bad, if at least one practices yoga, one, it need not be, as I said, the boy or the girl, the man or the woman, no, whoever, anybody, if one is practicing, then the entire situation can be resolved. If both are practicing, it is wonderful, actually, wonderful. The baby will not cry on. If both are practicing yoga, the baby will be all born yogi only. So he will not cry, he will not disturb. That kind of atmosphere is there in the family. These are the things we should bring in the families, actually. Need not be young, even the elderly. So, yes, Peter, you want to say something? I don't know. Peter, you raised your hand.
Oh,
Was
no,
it?
there was a mistake. Sorry, I was just laughing with the others.
Oh yeah. Okay. I knew that. That's why I feel people come on video whenever you want to laugh. I will also have hearty laugh. So yeah, because this is what is needed in today's world, and I'm observing how much of Bhagavad Gita is needed in today's practice and how much of it should be implemented actually. So this is how we can implement. So in Kannada there is one vachana. I don't remember. I am actually very sorry. Though in Karnataka, my Kannada is not so good, but I love these vachanas. Tannannu pararante tanu tilidava jana. Tannannu pararante. One who thinks others just like him. Think of others like you only. Then everything will be resolved. So I am coming back to the same thing, putting in their shoes. Let us think of another situation where there is a elderly parent at home and they are also tired throughout the day. The younger generation comes back home and they are also tired. The senior generation is tired because they took care of the baby. The younger generation is tired because they have worked, and the mother-in-law old lady wants to go out, handing over the baby to the younger generation. So what happens is now the young lady becomes very angry. I'm talking about real scenarios which we have come across and which some of them are related to me also. I have gone through this. So the young lady comes. It was me. And when we come, somebody gives us a, oh, I'm so tired. How can you give the baby? I have just come. Let me relax. How long is a relaxation? And what happens to the mother-in-law throughout the day, an elderly lady, for her age, that was. So if we put in their shoes, look at their age, look at their requirement. They want some time, they want some freedom, and we are encroaching their freedom, and we are expecting more as younger generation. So this is putting in their shoes, means actually imagining yourself as an old lady. No way, you're not going out anywhere, you're tied down from 9 to 5, and then here you come. I hear the lady comes, the younger one comes and says, why are you giving me the baby now? Let me have a cup of drink, let me relax. So these are the things which actually can lead to a lot of tussle and friction in human relations. When I was young, I have experienced. I always use, why is she giving me? This is my own experience. Today, when I sit back, when I have become as old as my mother-in-law, I can understand her much better because I'm old. But if you do yoga, you will understand at a younger age. You need not become old to understand. My mother also used to tell you will understand whatever I'm saying when you become as old as me. So Bhagavad Gita will speed up this process. It will bring you that maturity and make you understand. So he says, think of others properly, understand their situation. So that is what it is. And even teachers and students also, many examples we can give, which is very relevant. Uh, Last week, I told you, I think 2 weeks ago, I was in Vivekananda Seva Kendra. Our Swamiji told one example. Most of the parents, no, today's generation, I should say this, and I will share. I think I've shared that video. The father, I've shared that on parentage, and I would like to bring the same example. Many parents, they when they give money to their children, when they are bringing them up, they use a common statement. When I was young, I struggled so much. I used to go by bus. I did not have money. I used to eat only once a day. I have worked so much for you. You people are enjoying. So these are not the statements. You must understand they are in different world. So atmopamyena means understand today's generation is going through another set of problems. We might have gone through those. You never can compare. You should not compare. You should put yourself in their shoes and understand what are their problems. Imagine the technology today. Today, I really pity young mothers. When I was raising my children, there was no technology. I feel I was blessed because I didn't have so many challenges. There was only TV. And I used to control my children. I mean, I used to restrict, not control, for watching the serials. uh, those Pokemon, not Pokemon, I think some Supandi, that the serials. I used to just say 1 hour you have. Today, it is so difficult for the children to bring them out of their mobile. It is so difficult. I cannot keep preaching my children saying, I used to bring my children like this, so you bring your children. That's totally a wrong concept. So, understanding others as me means understand them from their situations, their upbringing, their environment, why they are behaving like that. So this, when we understand them, just like they are just like us, I went through different challenges, they are going through different challenges, and when we apply this to other people also, then the relationships and situations become much easier for us to resolve. And it is very much required because we need to have peace of mind to do meditation. At least people who are exposed to Bhagavad Gita must bring these things in practice, because we do not want any clashes or friction that would take us away from the peaceful, calm state of mind which we are aspiring for. Why are we here in Bhagavad Gita class? Because we want peace. We want calmness. We don't want frictions. We want to grow. We want to evolve. So, therefore, we must be able to implement this. So, look at others just like you see, whenever they are in sorrow, try to empathize. Whenever they are in happiness, let us share their happiness. Let us not become jealous if somebody achieves or if they're having celebrations. Let's go and celebrate as though it is our own function. Let's celebrate their children's success as though it is our children's success. Let us not compare and become jealous. This will give us lot of good vibes with us, and it spreads around. So that is the meaning of this shloka. Now, so in all this, what Krishna has told, look at everybody as my own manifestation, because they are, I am there, and you are all in me. So, no differentiation. Therefore, sarvatra samadarshanaha. And he says, one more I forgot it. Sarvatha vartamanopi sayogi mai vartate. So, I am there. Whoever is doing, engaged in all activities, any activity, all, and Swami. Uh, our Swamiji, who's Ranganathananji says, he says all activities and any activity, any means any profession. So that makes it more meaningful. I'm there with him irrespective of their profession, a cobbler, a fisherman, a sweeper. If he is a yogi, then he need not worry. I'm there, he is with me, I'm there with him. He may appear in the world of Maya as a sweeper, but actually he is in the highest position because he is practicing yoga. So here the merit is not by qualification, by education, by class. It is by practice of yoga. How much you are connected. And you can make out this. You just talk to people in different cadres, some bus conductors, some bus drivers, some taxi drivers. I have come across such mature taxi drivers. I can't tell you because I've gone in Uber cabs for almost 4 5 years in the last drivers and Uber cabs, more than 10 years, I should say. Some are so matured. My God, you unbelievable. I had one driver for 2 years. I think Padmaj and all know him. He used to talk about Veda chanting. He used to talk about, he's not a Brahmin. He's not a born to Brahmin community. He's not, but the way he used to speak at maturity, calmness, and whenever we speak about some politics and other things, because I used to have 1 hour, the way he used to give his opinion was like this: Samadarshina, irli bidi madam. They are like that. What can we say? We can't do anything. We should take care of ourselves. How best we give our this thing. And he was never ashamed of his job as a driver. His daughter was a software engineer who was earning nearly 2 lakhs a month, but he had not given up his profession. So we can find all yogis in different cadres. We need not expect that from only higher class people. Now, Arjuna, now after all this, so he says Samadarshina, all this he says. Now, do you all think it is easy to do? I am asking this question to all of you. Any feedback? We must look at everyone equally, friend or foe, maid or boss. Everybody we should look. A sweeper, everybody, cobbler. Can we have this samadarshanaha in all that? How easy or how difficult it is? Any answers? Anybody? How easy or how difficult it is? Will you talk very sweetly to person who you feel is not so approachable or something like that, or will you talk so sweetly to your mates, to these people who are they're called as municipality people who come and collect the garbage and all those in Indian scenario? Yes, anybody can volunteer. Do you feel so? Is it easy?
No.
Ma'am, it's easy only, but
Peter
since
says
we are
no.
tuned,
Ah, ah.
since we
Peter
are
says honest
tuned,
opinion. 1 minute, Suvarchala. Peter says honestly no. Yeah. Suvarchala, what about you?
no, honestly, yes only, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay. Anybody else? So one yes, one no. Any votes?
Yes, ma'am. I toss. We speak to them
Possible?
same.
You can. Peter, why do you say no? Is it so difficult?
Oh well, not necessarily across class lines. I just mean that we we get so wrapped up in our senses and manas that we lose track of that
Yes.
samadarshana,
Correct.
and get frustrated and put the blame on someone else.
Yes.
A friend of mine uses the phrase that we become fatally unique. We
Correct.
think of ourselves
Correct.
as, and we think of ourselves as so unique, it's fatal
Yes.
to us.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
we're not unique. We are like everyone else.
Everyone else. Correct. You're right.
But it's
Yes. Yes.
it's hard, and that's why we meditate. That's why we need the practice, the
Yes.
abhyasa,
Abhyas.
vritti
Yes.
nirodha.
Correct. Correct. Next slokas say that only. That's right. Yeah. So it is possible. Like Suvarchala and Shubha, I agree with you, but it is not always practicable because our mind. Next question is exactly Arjuna is saying. It's not difficult, but he says precisely what Peter has told. Arjuna says, Arjuna uvacha yoyam yogastvaya proktaha samyena madhusudana etasyaham na pashyami chanchalatva sthitim sthiram chanchalam hi manah krishna pramathi balavat dridam tasyaham nigraham manye Vayoriva sudushkaram. Now, after this, exactly the same question Arjuna asks Krishna. Krishna, this yoga of samadarshana or equanimity, which is taught by you, O Madhusudana, I do not see this as a steady, long lasting yoga. Krishna is talking about yoga of samadarshana through meditation. So now Arjuna is asking, I do not see this as a long lasting one, because mind is so restless. And the mind is restless, turbulent, strong, and obstinate, dridam, stubborn like. I cannot mend it. It is so restless, so turbulent. Therefore, I think its control is as difficult as controlling the wind. Can you control the blowing wind? No, never ever. We cannot control. So, just like that, mind is as turbulent, as restless, as forceful. It's not possible. So, we assume that we will look at everyone equally, but actually, when we start implementing, let us do this homework in the next week. Let us try to see in a day and make a note in a journal and say how many times uh, we have not seen people as samadarshana equally. Even the thought, it need not be in words. Even the thought also, we can make a note. I will tell you my experience, very recent, yesterday's experience, how difficult it was. So Arjuna says, mind will, today I understand, I will do meditation in the morning. By evening, will that sustain? No, it may or may not. May or may not. Some of you, as we know, some of you are already in that way. Like, you treat everybody equally. I will give you one challenge. We don't keep ask our maid to have food on the same dining table. As just give a thought to this. It's a thought to ponder. I had this discussion at home. My son said, "Why don't you make her sit on the dining table along with you and have food with her, with the maid?" Very tough. I will tell you, very tough. For reasons, maybe cleanliness, whatever we say. Not easily. In Indian scenario, it's very not easy. I mean, for me, it was, maybe you people have done that. So that's what we should start doing. And we have started slowly, one step at a time. So Arjuna says that morning we may say everybody has a divinity. All are one. My brothers are one, sisters are one, cousins are one, neighbors, everybody same divinity. Evening there is some controversy between your parking or whatever. There's a movie called Car Park in Tamil. Please watch that on Netflix. So just car parking, that becomes a big issue. So that time, where divinity, nothing, everything goes. As Peter said, we think we are unique, our house, this is our boundary. And then somebody just encroaches, then finished, it starts. So he says, because the mind is very restless. Morning in meditation, it agreed. Evening, it gave up. It just gave up. That meditation did not protect me from, it did not guard me from this. Why did it happen? Because mind is turbulent, restless. It wants to run away in all directions. So Krishna says, असंशयं श्रीभगवानुवाच असंशयं महाबाहो मनो दुर्निग्रहं चलम् अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय वैराग्येण च गृह्यते असंयतात्मना योगो दुष्प्राप इति मे मतिः वश्यात्मना तु यतता शक्यो वाप्तुम upayatah. Krishna understands everybody's mind. He is a creator. Obviously, he will know. There is no doubt, Arjuna, that the mind is restless and cannot be controlled easily. He knows it. But he gives a solution. It can be reached through abhyasa, regular practice. Abhyasena tu kaunteya, vairagyena cha gruhyate. Vairagya is dispassion or detachment, but a better word is dispassion. He says practice and dispassion. So you must constantly practice and have dispassion. If I give you the example of car parking, my neighbor, I'm giving example, didn't happen with me, but it has happened in that movie. There's a real story. It's based on real story. He comes and parks in front of my gate, and I could not get my car out. He had some guests at home. There were 2-3 cars parked. Let us assume he has come here, and I am in a hurry. I give up and I say, how dare you park? I have to go. This is my time, and you know very well I'm going. This is a natural thing. But very next moment, you will feel, why did I shout at him? The next time when they park, okay, practice. You will practice. You will do meditation also, and you will keep telling your mind, I shouldn't have done that. You will see small face of that neighbor. Next day evening, you will go and apologize, whatever, but you have already told something. No, you cannot go back on that. But next time, similar thing happens with another neighbor who is left on the left side of my house, I will take precautions. That comes only when I practice and I become aware. So regularly, if you practice, no, whenever I get angry, no, let me control. There's no point in apologizing after you shout. We should not shout. Prevent that shouting only. Prevent that anger. So that practice, okay, he says, and it is not impossible. So the different commentators have given different, illustrations for this. And then next shloka he says, after that I'll come to some examples. Next he says, how is it possible? Abhyasena vairagyena. With these two, practice. What you should practice? Asanyatam. Asanyama is control. Yoga, this yoga. We are talking about yoga. Samadarshana. Arjuna has asked, how will I get samadarshana? This yoga of equanimity I cannot practice because mind is turbulent. So he says, this is one yoga, and if you have to attain that, you must have mind. If you do not, mind should be controlled. Man who cannot control his mind, he cannot achieve this yoga. You told correct. Mind is restless, but I will give you a solution. No, mind can be controlled by regular practice. Regular practice of control of mind. How is that possible? Meditation. Meditation in the morning, meditation in the evening, and throughout the day, becoming aware of that you can do. And also, he gives two things. One who strives earnestly, yatata, vashyatmana tu yatata. Earnestly, he should strive. He should be sincerely feeling like doing that practice. Sincerely, he should feel, I shouldn't shout. I should control my anger. And by upayataha, proper means, every person can think of solutions independently. What works for you may not work for me. So Bhagavad Gita is giving generic solutions. We have to work out what suits us. He says, upayataha. Upaya is a plan or your own yukti, your own thinking. Be creative and find out a proper way, proper means by which you can do practice, dispassion, and you should have that this strong desire to control your mind. First, you should know, if you want to do something, you will find a way, isn't it? Upayataha, you will find a way. I cannot get up early in the morning, but I like to sit at night and study. We do that. Some people want to get up early in the morning. Some people would like to go out for a walk early in the morning. But what is important? I should go for a walk. How I will do what suits my routine, my family conditions, my job, I will find out. But first, are we serious about this? What do we want to do? So, like that, if we are serious about becoming a yogi, and becoming a yogi, samadarshana, we are talking about yoga of equanimity here. It's a fallout of meditation only. So he says, if you want to do, then you need to control your mind. You need to practice vairagya. You need to practice this control of mind through meditation, and you should strive earnestly. And you need not be dispassionate. Detachment means, vairagya means what? Practice, you all know. Practices, sit regularly, do it discipline at the same time. If you want to meditate, sit at the same time in the same corner. We have discussed about that. There is a method for that. Before that, have that longing or longingness to do meditation. You must have the desire to do meditation. Then comes everything will fall in place. So that you have to do by practice. Vairagya is give up anything that comes on the way of this practice. Anything. Vairagya doesn't mean always becoming a sannyasi. Detachment, dispassion is dispassion. This is what my Guruji had told me long back. He says, anything that comes on the way of your goal, develop a dispassion towards that. Anything that comes on the way of achieving your goal. You want to finish reading some 300 pages in a day. Somebody comes and says, come, let's have coffee. Come, let's go there. Nothing doing. This I have taken up. I have resolved. Sankalpa I have done. I want to do it. Until I finish, I'm not going to move. This is applicable for us throughout our life. Because throughout our life, we need to have one or the other purpose to remain happy. We cannot be sitting without any goal. Otherwise, it will become like a 5 horses in 5 directions. Unless we decide this is my goal and our buddhi decides, our mind takes control, it works in that direction, only then we are happy. Otherwise, I can bet if there is no purpose in life, even in old age, then nothing is going to be achieved. So we must have that. So people say, I had one professor, I don't know, you know about him. Kavita is there. Kavita, do you know Dr. Nagluti Mat, pathologist? He was a pathologist in, I think, Padmaja is there, or one of you may be knowing. He is no more. Pathologist. He has got 12 national awards. BC Roy Award also he has got. He worked on brucellosis, very senior. He was director of KMC Hubli, then Bagalkot, and JNMC. He has built a beautiful museum, pathology museum. So, why I'm bringing this example, when he got an award, my friend went and wished him. He's a doctor. He said, congratulations, you are a role model. He said, anything you do repeatedly. I kept on collecting cases of brucellosis, so thousands of cases. And beautifully, he achieved some, mastery on that. How to identify. I don't know exactly, but he worked on brucellosis, for which he got an award. So he says, anything do repeatedly in the same area, constant practice, perseverance, consistency, this will have to, it has to give good results. So exactly the same principles Krishna is telling you, practice. Why Mount Everest, what's her name? Hillary, no? Hillary, she climbed the Mount Everest, Edmund Hillary, right? So Edmund Hillary. And Neil Armstrong, we believe that he has gone to the moon. Never it was thought that these things could be possible. So they have turned impossibility into possibilities. Genetic engineering, what is that? Gene editing. Did we ever think of those in the past? It has happened. Somebody worked. They were all great yogis only, I call them, because they practiced their skills and they had vairagya. Because and all the Nobel Prize winners are all yogis only, because they practice lot of vairagya. Definitely they do it, otherwise they cannot achieve. So the same thing we practice to control our anger. It is as difficult as getting a Nobel Prize. You agree with me? Yes or no, Peter? What do you say?
Yes, I agree with you.
It may be easier to get a Nobel Prize, but controlling
More
anger
difficult, ma'am. More difficult.
more difficult. So if you control that, that means Krishna's objective is to win over your nature. So bhava is to get angry. That is your samskara tendencies, which went with the flow. Now you go against that, and that comes when you control. When you control your mind, when you control your, when you have regular practice and develop vairagya. If you want, let us say our goal is to control our anger, and then somebody tries to irritate you. You must develop vairagya towards it. You should say, no, I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get angry. If I go there, somebody, okay, let me avoid. So these are all the upayataha, he says. Find out what irritates you, how you can settle down. Once you get mastery, then whomever you see, whoever irritates you, you are calm and quiet. I'm giving you one small example, that control of anger. Like that, we should control desires. We should control so many things. In the sense, our mind should listen to us. Another example they give is in the circus, lions are so ferocious, no? But they make the lions and tigers do those, they go into that ring, isn't it? And elephant, we have been talking about elephant control. So everything is possible when you practice, develop vairagya, and strive earnestly and by proper means. Now I come to the end. We leave it at these questions. After this, Arjuna says, Arjuna has one more, very inquisitive. If you remember, we had told Pariprashnena Sevaya, how a student has to be Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya in the previous chapter. So Arjuna asks another question. Ayati Shraddhayopeto Yogachalita Manasaha Aprapya Yoga Samsiddhim Kam Gatim Krishna Gacchati Kachinno Bhaya Viprashtaha Chinnabhramiva Nashyati Apratishto Mahabaho Vimudho Brahmana Pati Etanme Samshayam Krishna Chetumarhasya Sheshataha Tvad Anya Samshayasyasya Chetranatyupapadyate. Now Arjuna says, Okay, Krishna, I agree. Mind has to be controlled. We are in the path of yoga, and we should have lot of shraddha. We should have strive earnestly, struggle. Everything is true. But supposing a person who wanted to, be, what is a fate? I'll first read the translation. What is the fate of those who have great shraddha or will to do? I said we should have the will to do, right? But unable to struggle. Suddenly, in between, they are practicing yoga. They did it for a while, and after that, they could not pursue. Maybe they died, or they fell sick, or they had some other engagements which took them away, and their mind they could not stabilize. But they were, to some extent, they came in this path. Okay, what will happen to them? What is the fate of those, of such people? uh, and their mind has fallen from the path of yoga. They could not achieve the final yoga of liberation, and initially they were enthusiastic, but after that they stopped. This is one question. He says, and does a person fallen from both? Kachin Ubhaya. Kachin Ubhaya means two. Both. He wanted to aspire for worldly pleasures or Swarga, he could not do. He went into the spiritual path, that also did not happen. He is neither here nor there. So, and he could not establish his mind in this state, and he became deluded in the path of Brahman. That means path of Brahman is actually clear, but he could not get that clarity. Will they get destroyed? Just as the clouds get scattered. Clouds, no, sometimes they don't bring the rains. They just get scattered and disappeared. We will not even know that clouds existed, though they were there. So does it happen like that? So you must, this doubt of mind, Krishna, you must dispel completely. Completely you must dispel, because none other than you can dispel this to me completely. Chaitanya Upapadyate. So these questions he asked, wonderful answers are there for this. Those are the last 8 shlokas of this chapter. We shall take them in the next session. So here in this session, today's session, major take home message is you must develop the mind which thinks of equanimity, because we are not separate. We are all connected to each other, because he lives, and each and every jiva, each and every living being, he is there, and his energy or his pancha mahabhutas are there in non-living things. They are different permutation combinations. The jivas, all the plants, animals, and human beings have jivatman, and buddhi is present in human. So the highest evolved person is human being. It is his responsibility to consider everything as one, because through his mind and buddhi he can connect with the supreme divine. So that is for today. Any questions, any additions? Exactly 1 hour, because somebody said it may be little long, so I'm trying to restrict. But well, we will discuss, take our one or two questions and discussions, additions. Yeah, Peter, anything you want to add or share?
No, just lots of thoughts. Very helpful today.
Thank you. Yeah, very practical. Krishna has to be thanked immensely, I should say. Every word he speaks is pearl of wisdom. It is extremely useful, because he knows what he has done, and he knows the guidance also. We just have to surrender and take that wisdom from him. That's nice. Anybody else? Suvarchala, Kavita, Chaitali, anything to add? Kavita, anything? You can be open, Kavita, no issues. Any discussions are open.
Oh, ma'am, everything sounds simple. I mean, Gita actually is very simple, but following it is the toughest.
Yeah, because we are not simple. Gita is
Yeah,
simple.
we are not
We are
simple.
complicated.
The
We are very
circumstances around us are so complicated. So I think,
correct.
I mean,
You are right. You are right. You are right. They appear complicated, Kavita. That's where meditation comes into picture. That's why now, if you see, everybody is the same. All are same. Just on some reason they are behaving like this. If one person puts one foot forward, entire family, I will tell you, it comes under control. My experience, I'm telling on record, with conviction. I'm telling with conviction how it has helped me and my family. No, that is the reason I feel very happy to share how it has changed so many people 180 degrees of changes. They were all simple only. To do something, mind becomes this way, that way. But when they really understand, but for that, somebody should be there at home to take the lead. In the institution or at home, somebody in the department, somebody should take the lead. If one person takes foot and starts bringing these, then it is heaven. I will tell you, it is heaven. Means we are, it's not that we are without any problems. We have n number of problems, but it makes you think rationally and gives you a lot of courage to take the right decision. It will make you feel that that decision we will not regret later. Because surrender ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, when we surrender to God, when mind is in meditative mode, whatever decisions we are taking, at least they are reasonably good decisions. So some, I mean, in family we have so many decisions to make, isn't it? So that way it helps. So for that, as you said, if you want to make, it's complicated, definitely it's complicated, but regular practice. What he says today, practice every day. Read, understand Gita, repeatedly you read, repeatedly practice, and repeatedly work on yourself. Situations are complex, complicated, but if I work on myself, then I will develop a guard for myself. No difficult situation it will be there, but I will become immune to that. Adu, that is what he is giving us. We will become immune. It will not affect you. You will take it in a lighter way. It's okay. Elderly people, if you're having that issue, youngsters, if you're having that issue, spouses, if you're having that, gender, we can think of so many angles to that problem, which actually dissolves a problem, So for that, we should grow with meditation, with regular meditation. If you are doing 5 minutes, do it 10 minutes, do it 15 minutes, and remember these Krishna's points again and again. There is one Gita Yajna conducted by Udupi Matha. I will share that in the group today. They are, it's globally, they have said every day you should write one shloka, every day 1 or 2 shlokas, and think about that for 2 years. After that, that book can be given to Udupi Matha. They will do some puja and give it back to you. Keep it in your house, in your puja room. They say that Swamiji is saying for generations, people will remember you, your children, your grandchildren. They'll say, my mother has written, my grandmother has written, great-grandmother has written. So that Gita stays with you. Rather than keeping ready-made Bhagavad Gita, no? If you have written, it speaks about an active effort, right? So this is one. But yes, Kavita, I do understand. It's easy to say, difficult to practice.
And also keeping quiet, I mean, meditation.
Yeah. I can't hear you. I think mine it. Am I audible? Am I
Yes.
audible? Kavita, I think you are.
Sorry.
Repeat your
One
question.
minute, ma'am. Yeah. 1 minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
When like circumstances, I said, like when something is going wrong, isn't it our duty to speak against it, or react
Of course.
and try to bring it back to
Yes.
normalcy or
You
whatever?
have to. Yes.
Yeah. But
You have
keeping
to.
quiet is all. Keeping silence is not the.
No. See what happened. Exactly similar thing happened with Arjuna. No, Arjuna wanted to keep quiet. Krishna said, "Go fight." It's not the right thing. See, when you feel something wrong is happening, you should be very clear that it's not the right thing. That you should be very clear. If you are sure, you have to speak. But anger, overblowing and all is not advisable. Controlling anger doesn't mean you should keep quiet and allow wrong things to happen. No. In fact, this Gita gives you the courage to fight. It gives you the courage to fight. You have to fight. That is the whole thing. Arjuna is made to act. Adike Krishna helodu karma yoga, act. But act, take all the thing, but then it may improve, it may not improve. That is not in your hands. Acting is yours. ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅವಾಗ you have to remember God and become detached, but act. So it's a very dicey thing, no? When you act, you want everything to be good, but it's not in your hands. That's what he's trying to tell us. Because if you feel, I told this much, I told her, I told him, still things are not happening, that's not in our control. So don't be disappointed. Be happy. You acted. Action is to be focused upon. That is karmanye vadhikaraste. Action agಬೇಕು. Right? Anything else? Anybody wants to add anything? Shubha, Padmini, Chaitali, Suvachala? No? Shubha? All seems good. Difficult to practice. Nobel Prize. Yeah. Chaitali, anything you want to say? Padmini?
And one question, ma'am. This
Please.
Bhakti Yoga is considered to be superior to all other yogas? Is there
Bhagavad
anything
Gita
like that?
doesn't say that. Bhagavad Gita doesn't say that. Hatha Yoga is one of the yogas.
That's all,
In
ma'am.
fact, that's all. It is one of the yogas. Controlling, bringing your willpower. That is there. But I have not come across that it is superior. I don't agree also. But Krishna doesn't say Hatha Yoga is superior. It is one aspect of yoga.
Bhakti Yoga, ma'am, compared to Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, it's. in
I'll
Bhagavad
get back
Gita.
to you, but as far as my knowledge goes, no.
I read it in one of the blogs. That's why he was explaining it.
Is it so? Let me
Uh-huh.
come back to you. But so many discourses, so many lectures. Let us see Sarvapriyananda, what he has to say. I'll check with my Guruji also. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Achala, anything you had to say?
Ma'am, I just remembered Sarvapriyananda Swamiji's speech in 2 lines, ma'am. I mean, it may be, but Samadarshana, that for that word it may relate, I felt. He said that we should not say to anybody that as I love you. We should say that I love God in you, it seems.
Okay. Yeah.
I love
No,
God
yeah,
in
correct.
you.
I agree. Why not say I love you and in the mind you think that it is God within them? That also is possible because, yeah, that's true actually. True love is loving the God within that person. That's the ideal situation when you start loving the God within. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. It matches. It relates with today's discussion. That's right. No. Not a bad, I mean, quite a good suggestion actually. I love the God within you. Therefore, they also should reciprocate in a similar way. They should also tell that they should like the God in us, but it depends on the evolution, no? How much we are evolved.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That is one of the explanations for self-respect, ma'am. I have read it somewhere. Because
Okay.
we have a God in us. All of us have
Correct.
some divinity inside. We should
Correct,
respect
correct.
that. That's why
Yes.
we all should have self-respect.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We should, yeah.
Explanation
That's
for
very correct. Yeah, yeah. Ahimsa, no, when not allowing ourselves to get hurt is because of that, right? That's a very good point. Divinity within us, we should have that self-respect. Because divinity, otherwise we will, if we keep quiet, like how Kavita was saying, if we keep quiet, if we don't act, that means we are not allowing the divinity. We are disrespecting the divinity. Kavita, goodness is divinity. So if you are fighting for goodness, that means you are fighting for divine this one. So it's good that we should open up. Only thing is, which should be spoken or the action should be very impactful, but not with blowing out. I mean, too over reaction irbardo. Oh, there shouldn't be overreaction. There should be a response. There should be a reaction. No overreaction. That is what Krishna says. All right. With that, we wind up for today. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियं वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृतिस्वभावा करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः पापोऽहं पापकर्माहं पापात्मा पापसम्भवात् त्राहि मां कृपया देव शरणागतवत्सल अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष रमापते कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियं वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृतिस्वभावा करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओं तत्सत् Shri Rama Krishnarpanamastu. Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice week ahead. Let's try to practice what we have learned today. Let's see how difficult, how easy. Let's write down and share our experience. I didn't share my experience. I will share next time regarding this. Okay. Bye.